So I wanted to make a different kind of video than I normally do. There's something that come to my attention. So the basically, a lot of people are probably going to say, "Oh, this is nothing to worry about." But when you apply for your ham radio license and you get licensed, apparently you waive your Fourth Amendment right. So I stumbled upon this one here, um, this law firm's page, Pacific Legal Foundation, and basically what it says is that let's see if it gets into it in detail. The FCC can basically just show up at your doorstep at any time, armed and whatever, armed government agents, and just say, we want to inspect your station, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it, because when you signed up for your license, you waived your right to your Fourth Amendment right, and that's something I guess that has been going on since the beginning of time. So it says potential hams will quickly learn that in order to set up an amateur station, they will be required to have a license for the Federal Communications Commission. Since 1912, the license required to operate blah 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 blah. People eagerly joining the hobby may not realize the FCC license rules require them to give up an important constitutional safeguard of their privacy. In order to receive a ham radio license from the FCC, would-be operators are forced to give up their Fourth Amendment rights to be free from unreasonable warrantless searches. Let's just see what it takes us when we click on the Fourth Amendment. Property rights. The right to own and use your property is the guardian of every other right. Without it, your freedom to exercise every other right is limited. But too often the government limits the responsibility and productive use of property and tries to take it without providing the compensation required by the Constitution. This isn't really what I wanted to look up. I opened up this other page just kind of to see what the Fourth Amendment is. Nowadays a lot of people don't remember this anymore, or they didn't really teach it in school or whatever. The Fourth Amendment originally enforces the notion that each man's home is his castle, secure from unreasonable searches and seizures of property by the government, and protects against arbitrary arrests and the basis of law regarding search warrants, stop and frisk, safety inspections, wiretaps, and other forms of surveillance, as well as being central to many other criminal law topics and privacy laws. Learn more. Click here. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, effects, and against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated. No warrants shall be issued but upon probable cause supported by oath of affirmation and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. So, where are we going to find this in the FCC thing? So here's another one I stumbled upon. Last year, in response to coverage that the FCC felt it had the authority to conduct warrantless searches of private property in its objective to clear the airwaves of unauthorized activity, the Electronic Frontier Foundation filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the agency. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I'm skimming through this because I don't even know what this is. I don't know. Looks like a bunch of crap. Hold on. Let's see. FCC administration search Trump's Fourth Amendment. Okay. It's bad enough that 2/3 of the entire U.S. population live in what is effectively a constitution-free zone, an area that encompasses 100 miles of land and blah, 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 blah. Now the government is claiming it has the authority to enter your home without a search warrant under an arcane FCC policy. If you have a wireless router, cell phone, cordless phone, baby monitor, and even a garage door opener, that the feds can enter your home at any time to inspect it. Anything using RF energy, we have the right to inspect to make sure it is not causing interference, FCC spokesman David Fisk told Wired News. According to the FCC, it gets the right to ignore the Fourth Amendment under the Communications Act of 1934. Back in the day, transmitters were used mostly by ham radio and CB operators. In 2009, however, nearly every house in America has some sort of device that uses radio waves. So the FCC policy, is basically, there's nobody around here that, without lying, could say, well, we don't have anything in our house that transmits RF. We literally would have to have no cell phones. Then they could say, well, we want to come on your property and look at your power meter, because like where I live, the power meters are wireless. And trust me, if they want to come in, they're going to come in, and they just say, well, we don't believe you. Let's see. So here's a video on this. Did ham radio operators sign away their Fourth Amendment rights? Warrantless search of ham radio operators, no Fourth Amendment. Amendment rules. FCC considers to change amateur radio licensing. Does obtaining a license infringe on our Fourth Amendment rights? I mean, you could just go on and on and on, and you could go down the rabbit hole on all this. So, anyways, I just wanted to know what you guys think about it. I mean, leave your comments down below.